Hey there, Jackson Arkham, and we're back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to do the big cover reveal of my upcoming novel, Starfall Protocol. It is a sci-fi frontier space opera that has a reverse harem subplot to it. So without further ado, let's take a look at the cover. Starfall Protocol, the Corsair Saga, book number 1. One soul, two lifetimes, three men who refused to let her face the darkness alone. Sarah Wells had a pretty good life. It wasn't exciting, but she made it work. Then everything went wrong. It was a literal train wreck. She woke 1,000 years in the future, trapped in Starship Captain Caitlin Redder's body. No instruction manual, no way home. In a galaxy one wrong move away from tearing itself apart, Caitlin's got enough problems without adding romance to the list. But her crew has other ideas. Before Caitlin can untangle her feelings of her past, a threat emerges. The Starfall Church is purging colonies. When Caitlin makes it her business to go after this fanatical cult, their leader puts a bounty on her head. Between dodging space fascists, figuring out which century's dating rules apply, and trying not to get everyone killed, Caitlin must answer the hardest question. What is a woman from the wrong century willing to become to save a galaxy that was never meant to be hers? All right, so now let's go over and take a look at the prologue, give you a little bit of a taste of what the novel has in store for you. Prologue. Sarah Wells, San Francisco, California, Soul System. The Montgomery Street Bay Area Rapid Transit, or BART station, witnessed thousands of Sarah Wells commutes without incident. She bounced on her toes with a genuine smile tugging at her lips as she descended the stairs. The dress waiting at home felt like a promise instead of a burden. Her boyfriend, Mark, even remembered to book a table at her favorite restaurant. Real, honest relationship progress. She believed she wasn't cursed to attract the worst specimens the male population offered. Her phone's sharp trill interrupted her rush to the train. Sarah paused on the concrete steps leading down to the loading platform, so commuters flowed around her. Mark's name on the caller ID made her stomach flutter. She stepped aside, pressing her back against the wall. Hey, babe. I was thinking about tonight. Sarah, perfect timing. Where are you? Heading home. I don't want to be late for our date. She shifted her weight, unable to keep the excitement out of her voice. Our 1 year anniversary dinner. It's going to be wonderful. Why? Silence stretched between them. The pause meant everything was about to go sideways. He confirmed by saying, about tonight. What? Not a question, a demand. Her grip tightened on the phone. The temperature seemed to drop 10 degrees. The flutter in her stomach transformed into something cold, sharp, and flailing. Look, I'm sorry, but my team got handed this massive opportunity. Henderson wants everyone to stay late and hammer out the initial strategy. I tried to get out of it. I really did. You're canceling? It's not like that. This is huge for my career. The Peterson Group's account will set me up for the promotion I've been chasing. Sarah's free hand clenched into a fist. 1 year together, the milestone that proved she wasn't hopeless at relationships, and her boyfriend was choosing spreadsheets over her. It's our anniversary, Mark. 1 entire year. I know. But listen, why don't you call up Jessica and Amy? Have a girls' night out. Hit that wine bar you love in the Mission. My treat. The frustrated growl escaped her throat. Several commuters glanced her way before hurrying past. She didn't care. You're pawning me off of my friends? That's not... I'll make it up to you this weekend. We'll do something special. Maybe that B&B in Napa you've talked about before? The train announcement echoed through the station speakers, distorted and urgent, informing her, last call for the 6:15 to Walnut Creek. She didn't respond. He added, I have to go, Sarah. Henderson's calling another meeting. You have a train to catch. I love you. The line went dead. Sarah stared at the smartphone's black screen, her reflection fractured across the cracked glass. The anniversary girl, abandoned for a client account. How perfectly fitting. The one relationship she had made it past 6 months, and this was how Mark celebrated the milestone. Shit. She shoved the phone into her purse and bolted down the remaining steps. The train doors stood open, yellow warning lights flashing. Sarah squeezed through as the doors closed, the rubber seals brushing her shoulders. The train car was packed with Friday evening escapees. She grabbed a metal pole as the train lurched forward, and her knuckles whitened from the grip. The train wheels found the rhythm on the tracks with metallic heartbeat that matched the pounding in Sarah's chest. She pressed her forehead against the window, watching the tunnel light streak past like dying stars. The blackness swallowed everything between each burst beyond the cool glass. Sarah's reflection stared back at her from the window, her wire-frame glasses slightly askew. Brown hair escaped its careful arrangement from this morning, and her blue pinstriped shirt was wrinkled from the day of meetings, and now, Mark. 1 year. Gone. She'd been so proud of that number, had bragged about it to Jessica and Amy last week. The train swayed around a curve, and Sarah's stomach lurched with it. How had everything gone wrong so fast? This morning she woke up excited with joy as she got ready for work. Her thoughts were dominated by the reservation and the dress, waiting for the celebration that would never come. The Peterson Group account, right. Because client dinners required staying late on a Friday night. Because strategy sessions wouldn't wait until Monday. Because their 1 year anniversary ranked somewhere below quarterly projections on Mark's priority list. Oakland slipped away behind them, and the car emptied. Commuters filed off at each stop, heading home to families, weekend plans, and people who showed up when they said they would. Sarah found a seat by the window and sank down. The Bay Area's surrounding landscapes rolled past in industrial grays and suburban monotony. Trees dotted the hillsides, their leaves just beginning to turn. Patches of gold and russet broke through the green, the first whispers of autumn creeping in. September was the slow death of summer, everything beautiful and dying at the same time. Sarah traced a finger along the window's edge. 3 more months in 2025 and this disaster of a year would finally end. She was so sick of it. Every month had brought a new catastrophe, some fresh humiliation. And now this, her 1 year anniversary crumpling before it even reached the finish line. The setting sun turned the autumn colors to copper and ash, indifferent to her mood. She should call Jessica and Amy. His suggestion wasn't terrible, even if the source made her want to throw her phone under the train wheels. The notification chimed her from her brooding. Sarah pulled out the phone, squinted past the cracks. A DM from David Shin, one of Mark's co-workers she met at the company's holiday party. They barely knew each other beyond pleasantries over eggnog and awkward small talk. Hey, Sarah. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you should know. Below the message, a video loaded. Sarah's blood turned to ice as she recognized the bar around the corner from Mark's office. The video was crystal clear. He sat in a corner booth with Rebecca from his marketing team, her blonde hair catching the bar's dim light. They weren't discussing client accounts. The bastard's hand was tangled in her hair, his mouth pressed against hers with passion he'd never shown Sarah, not even in their best moments. Sarah responded using the phone's digital keyboard. How long has this been going on? David's response came immediately. I don't know for sure, but this isn't the first time I've seen them together. I'm sorry, Sarah. You seem like a good person. The phone trembled in Sarah's hands. Heat flooded her cheeks and then drained away, leaving her cold and hollow. A record-breaking relationship was supposed to prove it could work with someone. It was all built on lies. Are you fucking kidding me? The words exploded from her throat. Every passenger in the car turned to stare. A business manager with his laptop, a teenager with purple hair, and an elderly woman with a grocery bag. Sarah's laugh came out broken and sharp. Nothing to see here, folks. Just an idiot getting ready to enter a 1 year relationship with a cheating bastard. Happy anniversary to me. A few passengers chuckled, the tension breaking like a snapped wire. They turned back to their phones and other distractions, giving her some privacy to fall apart in peace. Sarah closed her eyes to compose herself. When she reopened them and looked around, her gaze fell upon a loving couple sitting a few rows away. The man leaned close to his girlfriend, whispering something that made her laugh. His thumb traced gentle circles on her hand. When she shivered, he shrugged off his jacket and draped it around her shoulders without being asked. Sarah's chest tightened. That simple gesture was the kind of thoughtfulness Mark had never shown, not once in their entire year together. The stranger noticed his woman was cold and acted. The woman nestled into the jacket, and the man's face lit up like she'd given him the moon. Sarah watched the quiet moment, completely absorbed in each other, and bitterness twisted in her stomach. I remember Kieran doing things like that. The thought came unbidden, sharp enough to steal her breath. Her college boyfriend, the one who had been decent. The one she'd walked away from because their futures pointed in different directions. A mutual sacrifice to ambition, which felt noble at the time. Now it felt stupid. What the hell had she done in her past life to deserve this? Over the course of her 27 years of life, she'd been piling up a long list of losers. Some people made it look easy, she thought, as she stared at the couple. She envied how the couple touched one another, the way he looked at her. Sarah longed for that kind of connection. There wasn't any selfishness in her look, it was adoration. Kieran used to look at me like that before I let him go. I wonder what he's doing. Probably having better luck than I am. Damn it, why am I thinking of him? She let out a heavy sigh before muttering, I hate my life. Maybe I should get a cat. At least cats don't lie about working late and screwing their coworkers. She pulled out her phone and opened the group chat. Her fingers moved across the cracked screen. Ladies, Mark is officially a cheating son of a bitch. About to blast this all over my socials. Watch and learn. Amy's response popped up seconds later. Oh shit, our wicked bitch is about to make an appearance, ladies. Sarah's mouth curved into a sharp smile. That was her college nickname. Amy remembered why she'd earned it. Time to remind everyone else. She switched to her favorite social app, selecting a new post. Her thumb clicked on David's video of Mark's lying mouth pressed against Rebecca's. Perfect. Sarah's fingers tapped the digital keyboard, each word a small act of vengeance. Just dodged a major bullet, folks. Turns out my ex-boyfriend, Mark Harrison, has been enjoying some extracurricular activities on our 1-year anniversary. Even got his boss to cover for him. Gotta wonder what really goes on in those team meetings. Some people's loyalty isn't the only thing that's questionable. Hashtag cheater exposed, hashtag bullet dodged, hashtag petty with purpose, hashtag worst anniversary ever. She smiled as she hit the share button. The response was immediate. Hearts and fire emojis flooded the comments. Shares multiplied. Her follower count included half of their mutual friends and most of Mark's coworkers. This would spread faster than office gossip. Sarah opened the text message and typed one last message to Mark. We're done. Fuck off. Hope you enjoy your new internet fame, you cheating bastard. Happy anniversary. She blocked his number before he could respond. The weight crushing her moments ago lifted. Sarah leaned back in her seat and exhaled slowly, watching the lights blur past the train car's window. Vindictive satisfaction coursed through her veins. She scrolled through the mounting comments on her post, each notification a small victory. Mark's reputation was crumbling in real time, and she had front row seats to the destruction. Her phone buzzed with a DM from David. Sarah, someone shared your post with Henderson. He posted about it on our team's internal chat channel. It wasn't nice. Sarah began to type a response when the lights in the train car flickered. Once. Twice. Fluorescent tubes above her head stuttered. She glanced around the car. Other passengers looked up from their distractions, mild confusion creasing their faces. The elderly woman with the grocery bag clutched her purse tighter. The business manager closed his laptop with a sharp snap. The train's rhythm against the track changed. What had been steady heartbeat became erratic, urgent. Sarah's stomach dropped as they plunged into the tunnel through the Napa Mountain. Darkness swallowed the windows, and the flickering lights cast twisted shadows across the car's interior. Something was wrong. The hair on her arms stood up, and the chill went up her spine. The fluorescent lights strobed faster, creating a disorienting effect that made her vision swim. Sarah latched onto the metal pole beside her seat. The train's wheels shrieked against the rails, a sound akin to fingernails on a chalkboard, amplified through a megaphone. The car lurched, and the passengers stumbled into each other. What the hell? The world exploded into chaos. Metal screamed against stone as the car tilted, then rolled, and then tumbled like a child's toy thrown down the stairs. Sarah's body slammed against the window, then the ceiling, then something sharp and unforgiving. Her phone flew out of her hands and shattered. Then nothing. After a while, pain dragged Sarah back to consciousness. The acrid smell of twisted metal and electric fire filled her nostrils. Somewhere in the distance, someone was yelling out. She opened her eyes to a nightmare. The train car had become a scene of destruction. Seats hung at impossible angles from what she thought was the ceiling. Luggage and debris formed a landscape of chaos. Emergency lighting cast everything in a hellish red. Bodies scattered about like broken dolls. Help! Someone help us! The voice cracked with desperation. Sarah turned her head toward the couple 3 rows ahead. The man who had given his girlfriend his jacket knelt in a pool of blood, his girlfriend's lifeless body cradled in his arms, a gash across his forehead covering his face in crimson. But his hands remained gentle as they smoothed her hair. His voice broke with each word. Please, don't leave me. Please, I can't do this without you. Sarah tried to move toward them, to offer some comfort, some help, but her body refused to obey. She looked back and understood why. A section of the train's wall had collapsed across her torso, pinning her. Warped metal destroyed everything that had kept her alive. No pain, no fear, just a strange floating detachment as her life ebbed away. Sarah's vision faded at the edges. The red emergency lights dimmed, becoming nothing. Her last coherent thought crystallized with perfect clarity. If only someone had loved her like that. If only she didn't have to die alone, surrounded by strangers and regret. If only she could start over, it would be different. The darkness welcomed her. She floated in an endless void, weightless and peaceful. Time had no meaning here. Then a voice broke the silence. It was mechanical, emotionless, and alien. Soul compatibility confirmed at 98%. System searching for compatible host body. A disjointed voice paused for what seemed like forever and no time at all. Host body located, initiating soul transmigration. The void shattered like glass. Transfer complete. And there you have it. That is the prologue for Starfall Protocol. And that book will be out on March the 2nd, which will be a Monday. So be sure to look at it look out for it at all your major retailers. Of course, it will be available on our website, arcanerealmspress.com and jacksonarkenmore.com, which the links will be down in the description below. You can turn around and pick it up directly from us. That way you don't have to worry about that. You'll end up getting an EPUB. That way you can download it to whatever device you want to and be able to read it to your heart's content. So again, I greatly appreciate you taking the time out to enjoy my cover reveal for my new sci-fi. Let me back that up. My new isekai sci-fi frontier space opera, Starfall Protocol. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next video.